Suspect then grabbed the two hatchets and was swinging them around, approaching victim, coming within 5 feet.
Buckle up, because what you're about to witness is a legal roller coaster packed with danger, emotion, and a defendant whose past won't stop catching up with him. We're stepping inside a Texas courtroom for the case of Glenn Lorenzo White, a man accused of wielding not one, but 2 tomahawks during a violent confrontation. But that's just the surface. His criminal record stretches across decades, from drug possession and aggravated robbery to assault and parole violations. And now he stands before a judge trying to convince her that this time he's changed. But is that even believable? With a plea deal on the table, emotional pleas about a dying mother, and a brutal recap of his criminal past, this case dives deep into redemption, relapse, and raw courtroom honesty. Will the judge believe he's finally ready to turn his life around, or is this just another failed chapter in a long criminal saga? Let's find out.
Any witnesses?
None from the state.
All right, then, state. But Lucy, I believe you may be opposed. Just one moment.
I was silent, Your Honor.
All right, you're silent. All right, you may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, counsel, I'll hear your argument.
Judge, Mr. White's had some issues in the past. He said it's different this time. He spent time in jail. It's helped him develop a new outlook. He told me he's going to follow your instructions. If you give him probation, he'll never be back here again. We like the recommendations of the probation, the outpatient treatment, weekly drug testing. He's had a drug problem. He needs to address that. Mm-hmm. Also, the 180-day jail sanction is a good idea. We're in agreement with.
Now here's the moment where defendants often try to turn the tide. Mr. White is given a chance to speak for himself. And what does he do? He immediately calls his actions a mistake. But the judge doesn't let that slide. Her pushback is sharp, because grabbing 2 tomahawks, tearing into a taped-up window, and threatening someone with violence isn't a slip-dash-up, ... It's a deliberate act. You can feel the tension rise as she demands accountability. And honestly, she's asking what many of us are probably thinking. Is this man truly remorseful, or just sorry he got caught? Let us know in the comments. Do you think Mr. White deserves another shot? Or has he burned through his last chance?
You picked up a hatchet, right?
It was tomahawk.
Okay, you picked up 2 tomahawks. Did you think it was something else? Or did you know it was a tomahawk?
No, it was tomahawks. I just grabbed them when I wasn't thinking.
All right, so you grab 2 tomahawks. And according to this, it's with this Monique Gant,
Yes.
someone that you used drugs with. I don't know why you all are still together, because I read the PSI report, and you have 2 children, younger children. You don't even know where they are, because you were using drugs, she was using drugs. You didn't get your life together with CPS, and your children your rights ended up being terminated, and you're still with this person. So according to this, it says, because I want you to tell me where the mistake is. Victim stated that suspect, that's you, arrived at the location to charge his car battery. Suspect saw victim's car and went inside the house to take groceries that the victim bought. Suspect put 2 hatchets on victim's car. Suspect then grabbed a pole that was on the ground and tore through victim's taped up window and attempted to grab things from her vehicle. Suspect then grabbed the 2 hatchets and was swinging them around, approaching victim, coming within 5 feet of victim. Victim stated that suspect said, "I'm going to cut this bee," and noticed witness standing behind her. Victim stated that suspect walked to the neighbor's house and dropped off the 2 hatchets at the neighbor's house.
The other day is not true. I went to my mom's house. That was my mom.
So why would you try to take groceries from the vehicle?
I didn't take no groceries from no vehicle.
Well, I mean, she said you cut through her window. I'm assuming the window was.
No, I picked up the little pipe thing, and it had plaster on the window, and I just like tore it open.
Why?
I was intoxicated too, Charles.
All right. Here's the thing, Mr. White. I don't think you'll be a good candidate for probation. And let me just tell you why. You've been on probation before. You have a theft case that you were convicted of. Then you have a criminal mischief that you were convicted of. Then you have an assault case that you were convicted of. This started in the 80s. And then you have another criminal mischief that you were convicted of. Then you have another assault case, they say dismissed for insufficient evidence. It's probably dismissed because the complainant didn't want to go forward with it. Then you had a possession of marijuana, and I realized it's marijuana, but you were placed on probation for that, and your probation was revoked. Then you had another assault, and now we're in the 2010s. You had another assault, and you were given probation, and your probation was revoked. Then now you have a violation of bond or protective order, which I'm assuming is related somehow to this incident. Then you had an aggravated robbery case that was rejected. I'm not even considering that because it's rejected. I don't know why it was rejected. Then you had dealing cocaine. You were sentenced to state jail facility. Then you had another dealing cocaine and you were sentenced to prison. Then you had a burglary with intent to commit theft by force, and you received 15 years for that. And then you had another manufacturing delivering. You did time for that. Then you had an aggravated robbery. It was dismissed for missing witness, injury to the elderly, dismissed missing witness. And now you're here before me. How old are you?
I'm going to be 62 years old.
This is where everything shifts. The judge starts laying down the cold, hard facts case after case, year after year, conviction after conviction. It's like watching a legal autopsy of Mr. White's criminal history, and it's brutal. What's staggering isn't just the number of offenses, it's the pattern. Assault, theft, drug dealing, probation, revocations, parole violations. She's not being cruel, she's being real. And then Mr. White tries one last emotional lifeline, his sick mother. But the judge hits back with a question that pierces the heart of this entire case. You knew your mother was your only lifeline. Why keep making choices that risk everything? This isn't just courtroom drama. It's a painful, personal reckoning.
A heart attack.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to be like this.
Well, I mean, these are things we need to consider, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. This is what the court is going to do. The court is finding you guilty. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon, affirmative finding of family violence. The court will sentence you to 5 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. This is to run concurrent with 2025 CC 005111. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, and there's to be no contact with Monique Gant, G-A-N-T, and the court will recommend the therapeutic community. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence and also a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, Mr. White. Your history doesn't look good, right? And sometimes I look at that, right? And I have to look at that because I have to consider everything. And so I'm looking at your history, and your offense is escalated. And then you have different issues where you are placed on probation, your probation gets revoked. You're given parole, you don't do well on parole. And I will tell you, I've done parole hearings before, And parole is so much easier than probation is, because parole is sort of, in a way, it's sort of like college. And this is the best way I can explain it. When you're in public school and you're not in college yet, everybody is telling you everything to do. This is your class for today. That's what probation does. When you get on parole, what they do is they don't tell you, you need to do this, this, and this. They just give you a sheet of paper. You have your freedom. And on parole, if you report, call them whenever they want you to call and do a drug test and get employment, they're happy. They're satisfied. So for you to have the parole issues that you've had, that tells me a lot. But I'm recommending the therapeutic community for you. The therapeutic community will help you when your parole time comes up, because they're going to see that you are actually doing something to try to help you with your drug addiction. Because when people are looking at whether or not to place you on parole, and I've done parole packets for my clients in the past too, they want to know, if they place you on parole, is this a person who's not going to commit any more offenses? So you need to be working on a plan. Like, I'm going to be doing sober support meetings. This is where I'm going to be doing them. This is where I'm going to be living. I'm going to be stable. This is how I'm showing you that I'm going to be stable. That's what you'll need to do for them, okay? All right, good luck to you, sir.
Good luck.
And just like that, it's over. Glenn Lorenzo White is sentenced to 5 years in prison, with an official finding of family violence and use of a deadly weapon. His parole history, drug addiction, and repeated probation failures sealed the deal. But even in sentencing, the judge leaves the door open for redemption, recommending a therapeutic community program to help him finally confront his demons. The big question now, will Mr. White take this final chance seriously? Or is it already too late? If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.